Beginning the encounter. When I first saw her, I didn't even know what she was. I was a mechanic stationed at Dock 6, working maintenance on the atmospheric stabilizers, boring work, but it paid off my transport debt. The Xylen usually kept to themselves, especially those assigned to low-level labor. They considered it beneath their kind. But Virell, she was different. She worked with precision, almost artistry. Every motion was calculated, every movement quiet but powerful. Her skin shimmered faintly under the dome lights, hues of silver blue flowing with her pulse. I remember thinking she looked more alive than anyone I'd ever met. When she caught me staring, her eyes narrowed. "Don't." That was the first word she ever said to me. From that day, I tried to stay out of her way. But Kethra 9 isn't big, and when you're working 12-hour shifts fixing the same air processors, it's impossible not to cross paths. Sometimes she'd watch me silently, her expression unreadable. Sometimes, I swore I saw the faintest flicker of curiosity, like she wanted to say something but refused. Then one day, the dome lights failed. We were trapped together in total darkness. I heard her breathing, steady, controlled. I tried to make conversation, mostly to calm myself. "You think we're going to be stuck here long?" I asked. Silence, human. The darkness feeds on sound. That sent a chill through me. I didn't know if she was serious, but I stopped talking anyway. When the emergency lights flickered back on, I saw her standing inches away, closer than she'd ever been. The faint glow reflected off her eyes, and for a second, she looked frightened. Then she stepped back. "Stay away from me." And just like that, she was gone into the shadows. Middle secrets in the shadows. Over the next few weeks, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Everyone else avoided the Xylen, calling them the Icebloods. They said the species had once enslaved human miners before the Galactic Treaty. Maybe Virell had been forced to work here as punishment. Maybe she carried guilt. I didn't know. But something about her tone that night, the fear in her voice, didn't sound like hatred. It sounded like warning. Then came the incident at Sector E12. A stabilizer malfunctioned, releasing a surge of toxic vapor. I rushed in with a mask, trying to patch the leak. The alarms were deafening. Out of nowhere, I saw movement through the smoke. Virell, already inside, trying to manually vent the chamber. I shouted for her to leave, but she ignored me. I barely got the last valve closed before the system blew, throwing us both across the room. When I woke, she was crouched over me, her hand glowing faintly against my chest. The pain in my ribs vanished instantly. She pulled her hand away, looking terrified. "You weren't supposed to see that." Her voice trembled for the first time since I'd met her. "If anyone finds out what I did, they'll destroy me." Before I could respond, she disappeared again into the smoke, leaving me with questions and a heartbeat that felt like thunder. Days passed. I tried to find her, but the colony's communication logs showed nothing. It was as if she'd been reassigned or erased. Then, one evening, as I returned to my quarters, a soft knock echoed on my door. It was her. Virell stood there, hood drawn low, glancing down the corridor as if someone might be watching. "You shouldn't open your door for me," she said softly. "Why are you here?" "Because I can't keep pretending I don't care." Before I could speak, she brushed past me and closed the door behind her. The air in the room felt charged, the hum of her bioluminescent skin faint but mesmerizing. She turned toward me. "Do you know what they've done to us, human? Why they keep us here?" I shook my head. She took a deep breath and unzipped her suit slightly, revealing beneath it a thin network of glowing veins, pulsing like circuitry. "We are experiments," she said. "The Council wanted to see if Xylen could adapt to human-dominated worlds. They used us as test subjects. Our blood, our instincts, even our emotions are controlled by chemical triggers." Her voice cracked. I wasn't supposed to feel anything. But when I healed you, something changed. The turn, the connection. I didn't know what to say. She looked fragile, despite her alien strength. For the first time, she wasn't the cold, distant worker I'd known. She was alive, terrified, vulnerable, and beautiful in a way I couldn't understand. You should stay away from me, she whispered again. Then why are you here? I asked. Because my body disobeys the orders they gave it. Every time you're near, the control weakens. Suddenly, the alarms outside blared again, red light flooding through the room's narrow window. The colony was under lockdown. Through the glass, I saw armored drones sweeping the hallways. They found me, she said, panic flashing in her eyes. Who? The overseers. They think I'm defective. I didn't think, I just grabbed her hand. Then we run. Middle to END, the escape. We sprinted through the maintenance tunnels, the metallic floors echoing beneath our boots. Virell moved with inhuman speed, guiding me through paths I'd never seen before. Every few seconds, she'd glance back, her expression torn between fear and determination. We finally stopped in an unused cargo bay, hidden behind stacks of repair pods. She placed her palm against a metal wall, and it rippled like liquid, opening into a secret passage. How did you? I built it, she said simply. In case this day came. Inside was a small chamber, her room. Not the sterile quarters assigned by the colony, but something personal. Crystals glowed softly on the walls, and an intricate web of alien symbols pulsed like constellations. It smelled faintly of ozone and rain. She turned to me. You shouldn't be here. I laughed weakly. You dragged me here. Her lips curved in something that might have been a smile. Perhaps I did. The tension between us hung thick. I realized then what she meant when she said her body disobeys orders. The Xylen were engineered to suppress emotion, but she'd broken through, something in her was waking up. You could leave, she said softly. Pretend this never happened. Not a chance. For a moment, her eyes glowed faintly, the green deepening into gold. Then, without warning, the wall behind her shuddered. The overseers had tracked her signal. The door blew open, and armored figures stormed in. The climax, the choice. Step away from the experiment, one of them ordered. Human, you are interfering with restricted property. Property. That single word made something inside me snap. Before they could grab her, I lunged at the nearest guard, wrenching his weapon free. Virell raised her hand, and an invisible force erupted outward, flinging the overseers against the walls. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Her power was unlike anything I'd seen, elegant and terrifying. But each surge of energy seemed to drain her, her glow flickering. Virell. I shouted. Stop, you'll kill yourself. They'll never stop hunting me, she screamed back. Not unless one of us dies. Then, suddenly, one of the overseers rose, leveling his weapon at her. I didn't think. I stepped between them. The shot hit me square in the chest. I fell backward, the air leaving my lungs in a ragged gasp. Virell screamed, a sound so raw and inhuman it shook the air itself. She dropped beside me, her hands pressing against the wound. Light poured from her palms, searing hot. No, no, no. It's okay, I whispered. You warned me to stay away.